Hello, friends, family, and folks that I figure might want to follow along with my flight journey here. Today is July 9th, 2020, and in 2 days I will begin pilot training for paramotors. And so I thought I would put kind of a vlog thing together to share out with folk because I figured they might be interested in following along, and I can kind of put a lot of thoughts in one spot and get everyone up to speed. So I did make um, an outline to help condense this. So this video is unlisted, so it's not public, and I would prefer it to not be public, so don't post it on Facebook or whatever. Um, it's also going to be unedited. I'm sorry, but I don't have uh, like video editing software, and I just don't really feel like messing with that. If you would like to follow along day to day, send me an email. My email address is james.r.parker@pm.me, and I'll put a link at the bottom of this video. Shoot me an email, that way I can put you on an email list. I do know how to BCC, so I'm not going to give everyone's email out, but that way I can send an update and it won't go to your text and all that. So even though I might have sent you this video via text, so please send me your email address back so I can create an email list and shoot it out. But I will create like a list of like day whatever. So if you wanted to just wait until I'm done and then come back and quickly go through, jump over the parts you already know, whatever. I'll put that together. So first of all, thank you. So thanks to my mom. I wouldn't be here without my mom. Thanks for work, for giving me enough money to actually do this. This sort of thing is for fun, and that's it. It's just for fun. And all told, I think I'm probably going to sink about $20,000 into it. So yeah. And also, I want to thank / dedicate this to Vasily, who is one of the students that was going to be in my cohort, but he decided to stay home because he has family that has died from COVID, and he has other friends and family members that are currently suffering from the COVID outbreak. So, prayers go out to him and his family, and this is in part dedicated to him. So some of the folks probably I haven't talked to in a while, so this will be a quick update on my life and living situation. So I'm currently living full-time in a 20-foot trailer, and I guess I can give just a quick look around. I don't want to spend much time on it. I can make a separate video for that, but I haven't picked up or anything. So this is my my 20-foot camper. It's my workstation, and I'm currently in Camp Inn in Frostproof, Florida, which is about 15 miles away from the airport where I'll be training. So I just wanted to give a little update on that. So my history of flight. So when I graduated college, I stuck around in Starkville, and there was a soaring club there. So it's a sailplane. It's a fixed wing aircraft. It looks like an airplane, except it's really thin and really long. And the idea is that because it's very efficient at flying, you can either fly around until there's no motor. You can fly around until you have to land, or if it's a really active day with thermals, you can actually, just like buzzards in the air, circle around and actually gain altitude. So I did that for about 1.5 years. I stopped doing it because I had issues with being nauseated. It doesn't matter how much fun you're having. If you're nauseated, it's just not fun. So I had, probably 15 or so flights tandem with an instructor that was instructing for free, and I was one flight away from doing a complete solo test flight to be soloable, and I stopped because I didn't like it. But that was 12 years ago or so, and I haven't done anything flight related since then. until now. So what is a paramotor? All right, I have a picture here. So this is a paramotor. The whole aircraft is considered the paramotor. It's consisted of the pilot, which you sit in a seat and you're attached to a harness, and that harness is attached to a motor, and then that motor harness is attached to a paraglider. And it's called a paraglider and not a parachute because gliders are made to go forward and parachutes are made to go down. And so the idea here is that you get the power to propel yourself forward with the motor, and then the air that's hitting the front part of this wing keeps the wing inflated, and then the wing shapes into a wing, and then that's what allows you to gain lift. So the power comes from here, the lift comes from here. It's an aircraft and you fly. So paramotor is. A couple of notes about the capabilities of it, because they are often asked, how long can you fly? A standard loadout, most people will fly for an hour. Most people take an hour and a half of gas, which is probably about half the gas tank that you can carry. So plausibly 3 hours. There's competitions where people load up with even more gas and fly even further. But the vast majority of people, I would say, generally have 45 to an hour minute flight. The times of day, so because it's a piece of fabric that's inflated by the wind itself, you want a calm day. So most people fly in the early mornings and the late evenings when the wind is low and the turbulence is low. But with that said, there are advanced pilots out there that fly in the middle of the day, although they all admit it's not as fun when it's very calm conditions. It goes approximately 15 to 35 miles an hour. For the most part, there are exceptional people out there that can get it up to 50, 55 miles an hour. That will be very, very far in my future. Probably looking at, on average, 25 miles an hour as how fast it goes. As far as how high it can go, there's no technical limit to how high it can go as long as your motor keeps going. So you can keep going higher and higher and higher. There are practical limitations. So the first practical limitation is that it's illegal to fly above 18,000 feet, according to the FAA. And above 12,000 feet, you have to worry about having enough oxygen so that you don't pass out. So those are practical limitations. There's ways of getting between 12,000 and 18,000 feet by either toughing it out or bringing extra oxygen. But this is all well outside of what most people fly, these things I'm talking about. But I bring them up to point out that this is a very capable craft. Also another limitation is for every 1,000 feet you climb, the temperature decreases by 3 degrees. So it may not be comfortable to fly that high because it's cold up there. So things like that. I would say most people stick below 2,000 feet to 5 feet. So that's pretty much what a paramotor is. So why paramotor and not something else? Well, as you can see, I'm currently living in a 20-foot trailer. I can put the paramotor in the trailer with me. If I wanted to fly like every day, I could go fly, bring the paramotor back, stick it in the trailer, go fly. You don't have to break it down or anything like that. I have an F-150 that I haul this with. It has a bed. If I wanted to store it for the winter, or I wanted to get it out of the way, I can break it down into a reasonable area, stick it in the back of the truck, and leave it there for quite some time. So the point is, it's quite small. I can keep it with me. I can live with it. I'm a bachelor, so there's no one going to complain about it other than me, and that's up to me as to how much I want to deal with living with it. So also, it's the cheapest way to have to be able to go fly. So by yourself, like I don't need someone else to tow me up. As you saw in the picture, the person is just sitting in the with the motor on their back. You run along, you hold the wing over your head, and you run and you take off like that. So you do it all by yourself. So with soaring, you either need a winch to winch you up into the air, or another plane to tow you up into the air. So there's limitations around how you get into the air. Whereas with paramotor, as long as it's a decent day outside, and you've got gas, which it's a 2-stroke engine, so you have to mix the gas and the oil, but it runs off regular gasoline, and all you got to do is just have everything in working condition, go out to the airfield and fly. So paramotor training, my training is at Aviator PPG, which is in Lake Wales, Florida. My training class starts in July 11th, which is 2 days from now. It goes from morning to night for 2 weeks straight, so I've taken off of work so that I can do the training. I'm very excited. It's funny, when AJ is the school manager, when he created the text group for us to communicate with each other, he said, put, how excited you are out of 10. And I said 8 out of 10. And the reason why I said 8 out of 10 is because I can think of things that are more exciting, like going to the moon, or firstborn child, things like that. So if I say 10, there's no way up from 10, and I can think of more exciting things than what I'm about to do. But with that said, it is very exciting. My concerns are mostly that I don't think that I'm very physically capable. I think that my limiting factor will be my lack of I don't get out enough, do sports, exert myself physically. I feel like I will have challenges of exerting myself and dealing with the exertion and trying to remember everything that I need to do and remember all the things I need to remember while also exerting myself. That's a very new thing for me. Also, this will be challenging because it's right in the middle of the year, so there's a lot of sunlight, and we like to fly early morning, late evening, which means that there's less time for sleep. So I'm going to be very active, maybe not as rested as my 9 hours as I usually get. I'm a very good sleeper. So that, these things are the things that I think are going to be challenging. So we'll see how that goes. My plans for this vlog thing is hopefully every day I'll just sit down just like this, talk at the camera, talk about what I did that day, how I'm feeling, maybe introduce some of the people that are there, say hi to the camera and that sort of thing. But other than that, I'm doing this so that I can, I'm kind of talking to my future self, because I can remember how I feel right now, but maybe after training or after I fly for a little bit, come back and watch this and see how I'm doing then. Looking back, I think will be interesting. So that's another reason why I'm doing it. So not only for friends and family, but myself as well. All right, I think that's it. So I will probably do another one of these, and I'm also for those of you that haven't seen my living setup, I'll probably do like a little walk around in a separate video and shoot that out as well. But yes, so don't forget, if you want to follow along day by day, please send me an email, james.r.parker@pm.me, and I'll put you on the email list, so every time I make one of these videos uploaded, I'll shoot it out in email. All right, we'll see y'all. Thanks, bye.